Bill Clinton chaired this panel, this ESG panel at the Clinton Global Initiative with BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, Unilever CEO Alan Jope, and the UN's ESG czar Damilola Ogunbiyi. Let's hear how they start.
I want to say one thing about Larry that I really admire, quite apart from the fact that he's not a climate change denier.
I'm the target of all those.
This may be more important. I think one of the 2 or 3 factors most responsible for an unsustainable rate of inequality in the world today is that decades ago, actually, when Hillary and I were in law school, that's a long time ago, in the United States and elsewhere, people stopped teaching corporate law the way it used to be taught. Corporations, when I was a kid coming up and when I went to law school, were creatures of the state who had responsibilities to all their stakeholders. Yes, they're investors, but also their employees, their suppliers, their customers, and the communities of which they were a part. Then there was a whole long period of time when basically it was the stakeholders here, the shareholders here, and everybody else down here for many places, especially in the United States. And he's tried to bring back the balance, not just for climate change, but for the health of society as a whole. And I'm very grateful to you for that.
As usual, Bill Clinton takes forever to say a couple things, but here's the thing. This perfectly encapsulates the entire panel. This sets the tone for what the Clinton Global Initiative and BlackRock plan with ESG. The tone is, if you disagree with ESG, then you are a bad, evil person. They use the term climate change denier. That term denier is supposed to make you think of Holocaust denier. They use this term intentionally to paint anyone who disagrees as a bad, terrible, evil person, not just someone on the opposite side of the political aisle or someone who is questioning the science behind the premise of the climate change policies that the Democrats want to impose on us. Bill Clinton does something he uses a sleight of hand here when he talks about stakeholders versus shareholders. Now, again, these are their words. So when I say, listen, what ESG and the World Economic Forum want to do is they want to change capitalism, turn it upside down, and instead of making it shareholder capitalism, they want to make it stakeholder capitalism, and they define as stakeholders every leftist policy agenda. Therefore, they're not just serving their consumers or their consumers to get a profit in order to serve their shareholders, which is how capitalism works, but they're serving social interests. They're serving political interests as well. This is what the World Economic Forum has told us time and time again that they want. They want stakeholder capitalism, which isn't real capitalism. It's a sort of Chinese Communist Party hybrid where elitists use the market to profit. They don't own the means of production and distribution like a true socialist economy, but they control the means of production and distribution, which ultimately results in the same thing. That's what stakeholder capitalism is. And that's what Bill Clinton is describing as something positive. This is what he's saying they want for our country. They don't want shareholder capitalism. And the sleight of hand is that he acts as though corporations that prioritize profit are somehow, by prioritizing profit, neglecting to serve society at large. And this is false. Corporations that prioritize profit are typically only evil if they have a monopoly where competitors can't challenge them for harming people, or if the government somehow tips the scales or mandates a product. produced by a private corporation. The best example, the most recent example, the most egregious example, of course, is the COVID-19 vaccine, where a private company sold it and profited off of it. They profited at the expense of the people who were taking the vaccine and being harmed by it. But this was not a true market experiment. This wasn't just a corporation being evil, prioritizing profit. They were only able to do that because the government had mandated the vaccine. And of course, protected the corporation from any liability, given the corporation immunity from the liability that they should have been responsible for. So this is Bill Clinton trying to trick people, but typically when you have a corporation that prioritizes profit, that's a good thing, because in order to profit, you have to sell people something that they want or something that they need. So you're not duping these people. You're not tricking these people. You're selling them something that they want. It's an equal, a mutually beneficial exchange. You get profit, which benefits you because you gave a good or a service to someone else, which benefits them. That's what true free market capitalism is. It's mutually beneficial and therefore beneficial to society. But we're just listening to the words of Bill Clinton